Hi guys, it's Megan from Megan's Table. Today I'm going to make a super yummy French bread recipe, and it's so versatile. It can go with so many things. Tonight we're going to have it with spaghetti and meat sauce. So let's get started. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. We have 2.5 cups of warm water, oil, yeast, white vinegar, sugar, salt, and flour. Told you, super easy. So we're going to start by adding the warm water into the mixing bowl. And make sure it's warm enough so that when you put it in the stainless steel bowl, if you're using a KitchenAid, it will stay warm. So maybe even a little warmer than you'd want it, because as it goes into the cold bowl, it's going to lose some heat. Then we're going to put in our 2 tablespoons of yeast, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, and then we're going to actually let that sit until it's bubbly. It's going to proof, it's going to bubble up, and I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. Okay, as you can see, it's been about 5 or 10 minutes. It's starting to get bubbly. You can even let it sit longer, but I'm going to go ahead and go. I don't know if you can notice that. I've also attached my dough hook. I'm using a KitchenAid, but like I said, you don't need a KitchenAid to do this. You can use good old bowl and wooden spoon. I just like how KitchenAid, I can kind of put it on and then work on something else and come back and it's done the work for me. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my salt, oil, 1/3 cup canola oil, and 5.5 cups of flour. So what you're going to do, you're not going to add in the whole 5.5 cups at once, because there's a lot of things that depend, that kind of change how much flour you might need. The weather has a big part of it. I think that was 3. So I'm going to start with 4, and I'm going to get this going, and then we'll kind of see where we're at and slowly add in the rest. You don't want to put in too much flour. It'll make your dough very dense and the bread very dense. And then of course, if you don't put in enough flour, it's super sticky and hard to even manage. So let's see how that's going. Maybe add in another cup. I think we're at about 4. This is when I would go check on a kid or load some dishes while it's doing the work for me. It's looking good. Do about a half. Maybe put it up to the next speed. And there we go. You kind of just have to see how it's not sticking to the edge of the bowl. It's pulling away. That's how you know the dough has enough flour. And we're going to let it knead for about 2 to 5 minutes. Okay guys, at this point we are about done. I went ahead and added, I kneaded it for about 5 minutes, and I went ahead and added about another cup of flour. I'm in Texas and we have a lot of humidity in the air, and so that just creates moisture for it, and so I ended up almost the max amount of flour. So I'm going to get this dough off, get this dough hook out, and at this point most bread recipes would say put it in another, spray a bowl and put it in that bowl. But guys, I don't like dishes, so I am just going to spray the perimeter of this bowl and the top, and I'm just going to let it rise right here in this bowl. You're going to get a clean kitchen towel, get it wet, and just lay it over. And in the summer, excuse me, in the summer I usually put it by a window because it's so hot here. Right now I'm just going to leave it right here under this light and let it rise until doubled in size, and that can be anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, and then we'll meet back there. Okay, the dough's been rising for about an hour. You can see it's more than doubled in size. I actually put it in the oven, and that keeps it in a warm area. And I'm going to, it's kind of sticky, but we're going to roll it out on the countertop, and I'll show you how we do that. Oh, my phone. I'm going to spray it with spray my hands. just plain old cooking spray, Kirkland cooking spray. And knead it a little bit, not too much, you don't want to overwork it. And I'm going to kind of cut it into a big section and one smaller. So these are going to go to 3 sections. And for French bread, I don't knead it too much. I don't even get out a rolling pin. I just kind of take my hands and roll it like that and put it on a pan. This is a French bread rack. You definitely don't need it. I just happened to find it one time at a thrift store and was thrilled, so I grabbed it. But I'll show you on this tray that you don't need it at all. Again, just roll it out. It's going to double in size again, so you don't have to be huge. Another one. Get a little bit more dough. You want them all roughly the same size so that they bake, you know, one doesn't bake faster than the other. Okay, and then we're going to get this. This is how I did it for years before I had that pan. Works just as great. I'm going to split the dough in half and just kind of get that French loaf size on the tray. I've already sprayed both of these trays with cooking spray. And there you go. And then, to get that authentic French loaf look, you just take a pretty sharp knife and you can make slits. And then as they rise, the slits will get bigger and it'll kind of have that authentic look. I'll do the same on these. That's going to be a little funny there. That's all right. And now I'm going to let these rise again until double in size. Probably about 30 or 40 minutes. They are out of the oven. Took about a half an hour. I'm going to try to set this up and show you the good stuff. There is nothing like fresh bread, fresh homemade bread. Oh, I'm going to take one, cut it for you. Cut it. Whew, it's still hot. Put a little butter on it. And there you go. Fresh French bread. Didn't take a couple hours. You have a day when you're home, got to do some laundry, throw in some bread.